Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Hall. You may call me Dr. Kennard. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. Before we start talking about doctors being attacked here in the United States of America, I want to share with you some somber news. And this is also a COVID-related story, too. I'm going to share with you this video. Give me a second to hit some buttons, and we're going to do this thing. So many buttons to push.
We've got a bit of breaking news we could bring you. This is coming from the Facebook page of Colin Powell. Now, he is the former US Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Well, according to his Facebook page, he passed away this morning due to complications from COVID-19. The statement on his Facebook page says he was fully vaccinated. We want to thank the medical staff at Walter Reed National Medical Center for their care and treatment. We've lost a remarkable and loving husband, father, grandfather, and a great American. That from the Powell family. Colin Powell, retired four-star general. He served as the 65th United States Secretary of State from 2001 to 2005. And he was, of course, the first African-American Secretary of State before the election of Barack Obama as president. Colin Powell and his successor, Condoleezza Rice, were the most highest-ranking African-Americans in the history of the federal executive branch. He also served as the National Security Advisor for the states and as the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He had retired recently, and in his retirement he wrote his autobiography, but he was still carrying out public speaking addresses across the country and abroad, and was also Chairman of America's Promise, which is a non-profit organisation to try to help mobilise people from every sector of American life to build their character and competence. So there will be many tributes undoubtedly coming into him in the current minutes and hours. But for now, all we have is the information from his Facebook page that General Colin Powell, the former US Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, has passed away due to complications from COVID-19.
Well, I think we'll remember Colin Powell for primarily two things. One, he helped get us into the, second invasion of Iraq under Bush the Younger, the catastrophic invasion and occupation of Iraq. And the other thing he'll be remembered for is his stance towards Donald J. Trump. He was not a fan of Donald J. Trump. Does that even out? Does that even out? Does the virtue weigh out the sin, the secular sin there of getting us into one of the forever wars, for destabilizing the entire Middle East, for creating scores of refugees throughout the region and in Eastern Europe? Probably not. So Colin Powell, as we just heard, is dead from COVID-19 complications. He was vaccinated. As we know, the vaccine does not offer immunity, complete 100% immunity. If you are older, if you have pre-existing conditions, even if you're vaccinated, you can still die from COVID-19. This dovetails into the story of the day about US doctors being attacked. Links in the description below, everyone. Dozens of scientists who speak publicly about COVID-19 say they're being abused, or they have been abused, with some receiving death threats and getting physically attacked. Survey says, I'm going to say that again, some doctors are being physically attacked for promoting the vaccine and attacking ivermectin. Let's check out the story. A small survey by the scientific journal Nature found that dozens of scientists who had spoken publicly about COVID-19 had reported receiving abuse, with some saying they had gotten death threats or been physically attacked. The survey of 321 scientists around the world who had given media interviews about COVID-19 was published Wednesday. The survey found that most of the respondents reported some kind of abuse following their media appearances. And do we have a breakdown of the numbers, microphone? We do have a breakdown of the numbers right here. Let's check them out. 189, that's 59%, reported receiving attacks on credibility. 134, 42%, reported feeling emotional or psychological distress. 72, that's 22%, reported getting threats of physical or sexual violence. 47, that's 15%, reported getting death threats. And six doctors, that's 2%, said they were physically attacked after speaking about COVID-19 in a world where science is a radical position to hold. It is. We cannot, as skeptics, as humanists, as atheists, we can never forget that science is a radical process. It challenges our basic beliefs about the world. It challenges our naive realism, this kind of concept that we see the world as it is, while science is a process that helps us understand the world. And a lot of those conclusions that science gives us are anti-intuitive. Next panel. Medical products are particularly politicized, like COVID-19 vaccines or ivermectin, the anti-parasitic drug that has not proven to treat COVID-19. Some scientists told Nature, anytime you write about vaccines, anyone in the vaccine world can tell you the same story. You get vague death threats and endless hatred. Gideon Meyerowitz-Kahn, an epidemiologist at the University of Wollongong in Australia, told Nature, I think I've received more death threats due to ivermectin, in fact, than anything I've done before, he added. It's anonymous people emailing me from weird accounts saying, I hope you die, or if you were near me, I would shoot you. I'm just going to, some of you, there are a load of comments right now, but I'm sure some of you are saying, gosh, I bet it's worse for people who are brown or black skinned, or women who are speaking out against ivermectin and trying to promote the vaccine. And microphone, you would be correct if you were going to guess that. I'm sure some people in the comments have already mentioned. Let's go hit the next panel. Health experts have reported abuse related to their COVID-19 comments for months. Anthony Fauci, the White House's chief medical advisor, previously said he and his family have received death threats. Marcus Lacerda, a Brazilian health researcher, told Nature Medicine in April that he needed to be escorted by bodyguards with guns after he published a trial disproving that the anti-malarial drug chloroquine could be used to treat COVID-19. Earlier this year, Mark Van Ronst, a leading Belgian epidemiologist, had to be moved to a safe house with his wife and son for nearly 3 weeks after a far-right sniper went on the run, promising a vendetta on virologists and COVID-19 lockdowns, the BBC reported. Last panel in this disturbing story. Heidi Turek, a historian at the University of British Columbia who studies online abuse in health communicators, told Nature that abuse was harsher for women and people of color from marginalized groups. That abuse will probably include abuse of your personal characteristics. She said the internet is a dangerous place for women, especially if you're speaking out against the idiocy of ivermectin or trying to promote vaccines. I'm going to try to catch up with the chat this morning. 34 comments. I hope everyone's doing well. It's Dee Parks. Good morning, Dee Parks. So it isn't just U.S. doctors. This survey of doctors was from around the world. Obviously, I misspoke when I introduced the story. It isn't just U.S. doctors. These doctors are around the world getting horrible feedback, blowback for just trying to promote science. Well, you know, Dee, if you need a laugh, I hope you saw Biscuit's newest video. It's actually might be going viral even as we speak. It's gotten a lot of attention. And Biscuit, of course, is my cat. This is the first time. Yeah, I know this channel does a lot of things, everyone. We do news analysis. We make jokes. I drop cat videos, funny little videos. So, good morning, John Hudson, Soaks. Good morning, Dr. Mordecai, Scott Duke. Always a pleasure. It's Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Or I would always saying things that I forget to say about hitting and subscribing and doing all of that. Yes, 1964. The GQP insurrectionists are out of control. Right. Another day here in the States. John Hudson's analysis of Colin Powell. Once again, I don't think you're misspeaking with that. What's up, Dragons in Genesis? Hope you're doing okay this morning. I frequently attack doctors. I use apples to keep them far away. Very well. Well. Why couldn't it have been Dick Cheney? Why couldn't it have been Dick Cheney? Indeed. God equals imaginary God. Oh, what's up, Grand Farmer? Hope you had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. I went to a Renaissance fair with the kids. Maryland man allegedly kills pharmacist brother, citing his administration of the COVID vaccine. I saw that story, actually. Tesla, thank you for putting that down. I remember hearing or seeing this story in my newsfeed over the weekend. Disturbing. What's up, B? Always a pleasure to see you around. All right. Did Andy just get a haircut? No. I did not get a haircut. It just, I don't know. This, how my hair is, whichever way the wind blows, right? All right. I think I caught up with everyone in the chat. Yeah. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I am considering giving Biscuit, my cat, her own YouTube channel. I'm not sure about that. I have a lot of, I have a job now, and that requires work. I'm doing this show, requires work. Of course, the blog requires work. Andy does need a haircut. That's what I need. I do need a haircut. And very kind of you, Scott, for saying Andy is the Walter Cronkite of skeptical internet media. Indeed. What's up, Paul Camish? Yes, Ken Hovind going to prison today. It's such a shame. Single tier, everyone. So this is you coming in to the show right now. Colin Powell is dead. And we just covered a story about doctors around the world being attacked because of their pro-vaccine stance and just stating that ivermectin doesn't work against COVID-19. It's madness. But it's not all gloom here, everyone. It's not all gloom. I have a pleasant story to share with you. A story that will warm your anti-fascist hearts. Here it comes. Lawsuit over Charlottesville Unite the Right rally has crippled white supremacist groups and the leaders. Does that include Richard Spencer, microphone? The original Punch a Nazi poster child? Richard Spencer. Hard times, everyone. He's on. We're gonna mention Richard Spencer here. A federal lawsuit against the organizers of the deadly 2019 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, which has rattled hate groups and white supremacist leaders, goes to trial this month. The suit already has helped to dismantle some of America's most well-known white supremacist groups. That's fascism for you and me. And it has financially crippled one leader of the so-called alt-right, the white supremacist and nationalist movement that came to prominence under President Donald Trump. It's very stressful and very costly, said Richard Spencer, one of the defendants in the lawsuit, and the former de facto leader of the alt-right, in an interview. This level of pressure is definitely scary. Richard Spencer is afraid. He's afraid of the consequences of his own actions. No pity for Richard Spencer here. Lawsuits have long been used to dismantle or bankrupt the engines of hate in the U.S., including the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Nations, and the neo-Nazi website, The Daily Stormer. Jeez, man, I just read all those, and am I going to get banned? I don't know. We know that civil lawsuits work in holding accountable extremists by going after their finances and their operations, said Amy Spittelnick. Wow, what a name. Executive director of the nonprofit nonprofit civil rights group Integrity First for America, which is backing the lawsuit. That has been true for decades. But even when those groups have been crippled, white supremacists have adapted, going underground and surfacing with new organizations and leaders. Yeah, you got to play whack-a-mole with white supremacist groups here in the States. It's just the cost of doing business and trying to have a somewhat free society here. That doesn't mean we shouldn't try to cripple white supremacist organizations. It just means that we always have to be working against fascism. Integrity First's wide-ranging lawsuit alleges that the leaders of the white supremacist movement engaged in a conspiracy to commit racially motivated violence against non-white and Jewish people during the Unite the Right rally. The violence in Charlottesville was no accident, the lawsuit states. Defendants spent months carefully coordinating their efforts on the internet and in person. They exhorted each other. If you want to defend the South and Western civilization from the, oh, wow, that's nasty. I'm not even going to read that, everyone. You can read it to yourselves, right? I'm not, it's just going to make my mouth feel Trumpy, and I'm not going to say those words. Be at Charlottesville on the 12th of August. And next stop, Charlottesville, Virginia. Next stop, well, you can read that word too, everyone. I think it's right there in black and white. We've been, those of you who've been on this channel, who've been following what we've been doing here, I've been following the story about white supremacy, Trumpism, and I'm going to lump the anti-vaccine movement because they've all come into, in white evangelical America, they've all lumped into this horrible, gooey, fascist-y mess. The lawsuit seeks compensatory and punitive damages for the plaintiffs, with the amount to be decided by a jury. The defendants are a who's who of the extremist right: Jason Kessler, a key organizer of the event, a neo-Nazi podcaster, Christopher Cantwell, Nathan Domingo, a white supremacist who founded the group Identity Europa, and Spencer, and a host of other extremist leaders and groups. Richard Spencer's suit has been crippling. You know, if I was really prepared for the show today, I would show the video of Spencer getting hit by a bystander. You remember that video that was out? It was just Spencer talking to the press, and some brave anti-fascist came and just clocked him. Despite briefly rising to prominence at the outset of the Trump presidency, the last 4 years have proven brutal for the alt-right, a political movement that mixes racism, white nationalism, anti-Semitism, and populism. That's thanks to, in part, of the pressure of the case filed in 2017. Spencer has no illusions about the state of the movement he helped create. The alt-right is dead, he said in an interview last month. Oh, you know, his version of the alt-right might be dead, but let me tell you something. We're only, and we know this, microphone, and everyone in the chat, everyone who's watching, we're only one election away from seeing a resurgence of white supremacy, at least in the political sphere, if the Democrats lose control of the Senate and the House, which will probably happen. Last week, Spencer acknowledged that the Integrity First lawsuit has taken a toll, along with the constant stress. The lawsuit has cost thousands of dollars to defend, Spencer said. In June 2020, he told the court that the case has been financially crippling. Now he's representing himself in court. That may be the best part of this story. Besides, of course, crippling the besides crippling the fascist institutions, is the fact that Richard hit me in the face, Spencer, brown shirt Spencer, would be National Socialist Reich Marshal Spencer, now has to defend himself in court. He has to act as his own lawyer. If that isn't puppy dogs and rainbows, everyone, I don't know what is. Oh, good tidings. All right, last panel on this story. The plaintiffs, a minister, students, and other Charlottesville residents have won default judgments against 7 of the 24 defendants. with the penalties to be decided by the jury. The court has issued 5-figure fines against 3 other defendants for failing to produce evidence or show up for court hearings or depositions, court files show. Meanwhile, several of the groups named in the suit have fallen apart. Vanguard America, the neo-Nazi group that Fields marched in, fragmented after the rally. So did the Traditionalist Workers' Party, a white supremacist group. Cantwell is in prison after being convicted of extortion. Identity Europa rebranded, and in May 2020, defendants Matthew Heimbach and Elliot Klein were each ordered to pay fines of more than $12,000. Tough times for the white supremacists, and all with the glory of lawsuits, everyone. And Richard Spencer, acting as his own lawyer, being bled dry of money and cash. Oh, good times. Gonna check out the chat. Oh, Simply Secular Dave, good to see you. The South will rise again. Yeah, let's hope it's by education level. Indeed. Let's see. You're so enjoying the microphones involvement today. Well, microphone appreciates that. D. Microphone appreciates that. Oh, let's see. What else is going on here in the chat? Being hit in the face is what launched Spencer into the popular consciousness, boosting his reach. It was a badge of honor for him. Yeah, that is a good point. And this is true. This is 64. From brown shirts to redhead maggot hats. Indeed. Wow, we've covered a lot. Colin Powell died of COVID-19 complications. We talked about doctors being attacked worldwide because they're promoting the vaccine and speaking out against ivermectin. And we also talked about white supremacists getting targeted by lawsuits here in the States, and many of those organizations not surviving, many of the key characters suffering under the weight of their own stupidity. Good times. But wait, there's more fun to be had. What? There's more fun to be had? There's more fun to be had, microphone. We're going to do something fun. Share a quick little funny video for you all.
This is Dave and his emotional support pumpkin. It is the only big pumpkin we have that is not orange, and he has grown extremely attached to it.
How can you go wrong? It's October, you get a cat, and you get a pumpkin. And that cat is apparently really attached to that pumpkin too. So we're doing the after party after show at 9:30. That goes from 9:30 to 10:30. Open panel, link in the description below, everyone. I hope you show up. We talk about a variety of different topics. And I think I'm just going to sign off. I think it's about that time. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you hit the like button. And if you haven't seen Biscuit's video, it's an uploaded video. It's only like 10 seconds long or so, but I think it's adorable myself. But I am biased. Going to check out the chat one more time. Mussolini and Hitler both said many times on their rise to power that they would make Italy and Germany great again. Oh yeah. This is true. This is true. All right, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to drop the thank you video for YouTube members and patrons. And yeah, you'll notice there's no ads here. There's no ads. It wasn't. So, I just get by with whatever you can contribute, and I appreciate it. I'll see you all at 9:30, hopefully